Hi, Jackie. Had a little trouble logging in.
So did I, and I didn't know if it was my computer or what was going on. Or
Oh,
my Shaw account.
okay. Well, let's get started. Work on the whole mini set as a whole.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So becoming aware of your body and your breathing. Becoming aware of where your weight is, where you're holding the weight. And consciously choose to let the weight enter the lower body and feet. And let that also release and open the upper body. As you give the weight over to the ground and legs, let that open and release the upper body. Basically the same with the breath as well. Let the breath sink and fill the abdomen. Let the breath sink and let the belly release. And let's come to the center. So hands resting just below the navel, specifically resting the mind and breath, the center of the body, just below the navel, in the bowl of the hips. Each out breath is a releasing breath. The tailbone hang, so lower back is almost straight and flat. The chin drops down a little bit, about an inch or so. So the back of the neck is also almost straight and flat. Shoulders sitting straight down. Again, belly released. Weight in the feet. And letting the arms hang with gravity. Hanging out, breathing into the belly. And then whenever you're ready and you want, let the arms flow forward. Just do a few of these commencement moves. Softer and softer each time. Less and less physical work, less and less muscle work each time. Going at your own soft, relaxed pace. Letting those shoulder joints open and release. Letting those arms flow forward in front of you. Opening up those shoulder joints. Letting the elbow points take the arms down. It's like the arms are floating up in water. You're standing in a nice pool of water. And then the hard elbow points take the arms down, drifting down through the water. Good. Let's go a little wider. Toes out a little bit. Knees over the toes, shifting the weight and turning the hips a little bit. Serving tea. So you're not really doing anything with the arms. They're only moving because you're turning the hips. Still hanging from the string. Breath in the belly. Shoulders resting directly down. Belly released. Those knees are bent. Moving, flowing in water. Softer and softer in the arms and upper body. I'm going to show you another nice warm-up move or individual Tai Chi move. It's the same action with the legs and hips, and then I shift the weight and turn the hips. The arms are flowing across. This move is called clouds sailing by. Clouds
So
sailing
that
by.
top hand
Yes.
Okay.
So both palms are facing away or outward.
Okay.
Both palms are facing forward. The leading edge the elbow is, make sure you're not lifting the elbow up. That raises the shoulder. Elbows are slightly dropped. The leading edge, the leading one is a little bit lower. Shoulders are still down. And so this is not my arms doing anything. So I'm not doing this with my arms. I'm simply shifting the weight and turn the hips. It's like the arms are dragged across, just dragged across. Again, if you're doing this in water, the arms would kind of trail behind. You move your body, shift the weight, turn the hips. The arms and hands just trail behind. So it's not an arm exercise or arm movement. Arms are trailing behind, almost like you're dragging them through the sky, dragging them through the air. Shoulders completely down. Okay, and we'll just do a few non-used Tai Chi squats. So ease out a little bit, right over the toes. And very shallow to start with. Sitting just a tiny little bit to start with. Nice, good breathing. This is deeper work than what it seems like because you're going slow, smooth, and controlled. And if feeling okay in the knees, you can go a little deeper. Nice, good, full abdominal breaths. Slow and smooth, that's the real work. Okay, and then coming up, letting the hands turn over and just drifting down. Breathing good, inching your feet in. Okay, so how about we do the entire mini set, see how that goes,
Okay.
and then we'll definitely take out the balance steps tonight and some other details. But let's see how if there's any particular part of the set that you want to just maybe review before we take those balance steps out.
Okay.
So let's go through the mini set. I'll just give you a moment to checklist, you know, your feet, tailbone, abdomen, shoulders. The tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth.
What does that do, Brad?
So that is quite important. It's considered quite important in Tai Chi and Qigong. That allows the complete circuit of Qi.
Okay.
In acupuncture, as you've done some acupuncture, you've had some done. There's meridians or rivers of Qi, many of them throughout the whole body. But the main Qi meridian comes up the back, up the spine, and down the front. That's the main circuit. So the Qi meridian that comes up here, comes over the top of the head, comes down and stops at the upper palate. That's where it ends.
Okay.
And it continues from the lower palate and it continues on. So that's the avenue, the Qi highway, the Qi river. So it comes down here and then that meridian continues from here. So
are there five meridians?
No, there's many.
Okay.
Yeah. And by touching the tip of the tongue to the roof of the mouth, right behind the upper front teeth, that makes it easier for that Qi to continue in that circuit.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to so you're closing the circuit. Instead of the circuit being open and broken, you're closing it. So that allows that main Qi circuit to flow more freely and easily. And of course, that contributes to the chi flowing more freely through the other tributaries.
So does the tongue stay up there for the whole mini set?
Yes, that's where it stays. That's where it's parked.
Okay.
Not just for the mini set, anything we do in Tai Chi. In fact, everyday living, it should be there.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, hanging out, breathing. And arms flow forward. Drifting down. Knees are bent a little bit as you shift left and turn right. Correcting the back foot. Standing, hold the ball. Stepping with the left heel. Left, grasp bird's tail. Standing, hold the ball. Grasp bird's tail. Single whip, shifting back, turning on the right heel as far as comfortable, shifting all the way back to the right leg, touch down with the ball left foot, turning on the right heel, get to the corner, arm swoop out, full step on the left heel, still hanging from the string, shoulders down, breathing into the abdomen. Shifting back, left foot to the corner, shifting to stand into the left leg, touch down lightly on the right heel, right hand opens. Turn and hold the ball. Full step towards the front wall. All the toes are pointing towards the corner for parallel feet. Touch down, standing into the right leg. Stork spreads wings. Going into the first brush knee, arms into ready position. Full step on the left heel. That's the first brush knee. Half step up for play the fiddle. 3 brush knees in a row, arms in ready position, full step on the left heel. Rock back, left leg, left arm, turn to the corner, stand up, arm up, left arm behind you. Full step on the right heel. Of course, that foot is straight forward. Rock back, turning right leg, right arm, stand in the right leg, touch down, full step on the left heel. So that's the 3 brush knees, half step up, play the fiddle, touching down lightly on the left heel. 1 more brush knee, arms in ready position, full step on the left heel, brush knee. Chop with fist. Rock back, turning left foot to the corner, arms swoop to the left, stand up, hold the bouquet. Touching down on the right heel, half a step, shift the weight into the right leg, turning the right leg to the corner. Fist goes up through 12 o'clock, shift all the weight into the right leg, brings the fist back, left hand out. Touch down momentarily, step with the left heel, shift the weight forward. Parry and punch. Shifting back, left hand comes under right elbow, slides along the forearm as the right hand opens. Shifting forward with a push. Let's withdraw and push. Cross hands is shifting back so we can come up on the left heel, turn the left foot straight to the front wall, and the hands have gone up in front of the forehead. Turn on the right heel, so feet are straight, parallel. Go into a squat, arms go wide, shifting the weight to the left leg. Right wrist comes under left, bring in the right foot, even, parallel, and about hip width. Coming up, cross comes up to the chest, rotating forward, rotating down. Hang out and breathe. Okay, how'd that go for you?
Not bad.
Okay.
I have one question on the first half, and then I want to practice the second half.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the question on the first half, when you come in, when we come around on the single whip, and am I turning on that right? I want to turn on the right ball of my foot, and I think I'm supposed to be on the heel.
Okay, so let's see if you can see my feet there. So I come around here,
Yeah,
I shift back, I touch down on the ball of the left foot.
yeah, I'm good there.
Okay, so you're talking about the right foot?
Yes.
So I turn on the heel. So I pick up the right toes to turn on the heel.
Okay, okay, so let's do that. So we're here and we go, we're turning the right as far as we can put it. These
Yep.
are coming all the way around. I got to step here and then I got to turn on the heel.
Turn on
Okay,
the-
okay,
yeah, and that's not a intuitive move. Most people want to turn on the ball of the foot. So let me try from this angle here. So I come around. Of course, here I'm turning on the right heel. Everybody gets that.
Yeah.
I touch down the ball of the left foot.
and you've stepped quite far apart, which is what I have to do.
Yeah, you don't want to be too much in front of the other foot because then you don't have much balance.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
you might be able to see this actually here. So I pick up the toes and turn.
okay, so I'm here, I pick up the toes and turn, but the left foot's got to be over a little bit. Okay,
Yeah, and that's actually one of the things we're going to talk about is why that foot is over.
okay,
Okay, so and then you want to do the last half of the set again?
yeah, from sort of the brush knees all the way to the end.
Sure, you bet. Yeah. Okay, so let's take it from the very end of stork spreads wings, and then we're doing all the brush knees. Okay. So let me try one going the same direction as you. So here we are, the end of stork spreads wings. To start the first brush knee, we go into brush knee ready position. Full step on the left heel, shift the weight forward, first brush knee. Play the fiddle, half step up, shift the weight back, pick up the left foot, place it right back down on the left heel, very lightly, and left hand tie, play the fiddle. 3 brush knees in a row, go into brush knee ready position. Now we're half a step on the left heel, so now we take a full step on the left heel. Shift the weight forward. Rock back, turn the left leg and the left arm to the corner, stand in the left leg, touch down, left arm goes back. Full step on the right heel, shift the weight forward. Rock back, turn the right leg and right arm to the corner, stand up, right arm goes back. Full step on the left heel, shift the weight forward. So that's 3 brush knees. Now half a step up. Or play the fiddle, so touching down lightly on the left heel. 1 more brush knee, arms in brush knee ready position. Full step on the left heel. Okay, now chop with fists. You rock back, open left leg to the corner, arms swoop to the corner, arms come up as we stand up to hold the bouquet. Right heel, go half a step in front of the left foot. Right heel, touch it down. Turn the right leg to the corner as we shift the weight into the right leg. Soft fist goes to 12 o'clock. Shifting all the weight into the right leg brings the fist back. Left heel comes off the ground. Touch down lightly with the ball of the left foot. Full step on the left heel. Parry and punch. As we shift the weight forward, left arm comes down to the hip, fist goes out. Withdraw and push. Shifting back, left hand comes under right elbow, right hand opens. Shift the weight forward for the push. Cross hands, shifting back so we can pick up the left toes, and all the fingers go up. Turn on the left heel till the foot is straight. Turn on the right heel until the foot is straight. Go straight down into a squat, so knees over the feet, arms go wide. As we shift the weight over to the left leg, it brings the right wrist under the left, bringing the right foot parallel, coming up, the wrists crossed or in front of the chest, rotating the palms forward, hands drifting down. Still hanging from the string. So, Jackie, do you want me to do one more facing the same way or going the direction that I go in when I'm doing it?
Go the direction that when you're doing it.
Okay, so let's do that again from the whole sequence. Brush knees and to the end of the set. Okay. So, brush knee ready position. Full step for brush knee. Half step up, play the fiddle. Brush knee position. Full step on the left heel. Rock back, open left side to the corner, stand up, left arm goes back. Full step on the right heel. Rock back, open the right side to the corner, stand up, touch down with the ball of the left foot. Full step on the left heel. And then we do half step up, play the fiddle. One more brush knee, so arms into ready position. Then a full step on the left heel. Drop the fists, rock back, left foot to the corner, arm swoop to the side, stand up, hold a bouquet, touch down lightly on the right heel, turn your right leg to the corner as you shift the weight into the right leg, fist goes up, and fist comes back to the hip as you shift all the weight into the right leg. Touch down lightly on the ball of the left foot, step on the left heel, shift the weight forward, parry and punch. Shift back, left hand comes under right forearm as the right hand opens. Shift the weight forward for the push. Cross hands, shifting back, left toes go up, hands go up, shoulders stay relaxed down. Turn on the left heel, turn on the right heel, go straight down into a squat, arms go wide. Shift the weight over to the left. Bring in the right wrist under the left. Bring in the right foot, even and parallel. Coming up using your legs. Rotating the palms forward, shoulder height and shoulder width. And drifting down as you hang out and breathe. Okay. So, we're going to talk about something we haven't talked about before, and that is instepping, as opposed to outstepping.
Okay.
Instepping, so I have to make sure you can see my foot. So I have this foot 45 degrees, and as you, the leg that you step forward on, that foot should be straight, right?
Okay.
However, I don't want it to be right in front of my back foot. Let's see if I can come right in front of the camera lens. So I've got a proper stance. It's a good length. The weight is slightly forward. All that's good. My front foot is straight. My back foot is 45. But my front foot is directly in front of my back foot. Or conversely, the back foot is directly behind the front foot. In other words, I'm standing on a line, which is basically standing on a tightrope.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so your balance is not stable laterally. So when you're standing right in front of your front foot's directly in front of the back foot, that's called instepping.
Okay.
Don't ever want to instep because of that problem. So I'm trying to find something, a little tool I can maybe show this with. If straight line,
Right.
we'll pretend that's a straight line. Can you see it?
A little bit.
Okay, yeah, happens to be white, so it's not going to be the easiest color. So I'm going to have this is going to be my back foot, my back foot is 45.
Okay.
So imagine this is a straight line from my back heel, straight forward.
Okay.
I do not want to step inside that line. Then I'm definitely instepped. If I'm inside that line, we call that instepping, instepped.
All right.
I don't even want to be stepping with my foot touching that line
Okay.
because then my foot is right in front of my back foot. So we want this foot over a bit so it's not even close to that line that runs up straight from that back heel. Now at the club, at the school, we conveniently have these lines all over the floor on the mats. So you have nice little convenient lines where, oh, I'm on that line or inside that line. There, I'm outside that line, I'm good. Now, when you don't have those lines, you have to imagine a straight line coming straight up from the back heel.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm good because I'm on hardwood and I can see the board width.
Okay, good. So one other quick reminder, I have touched upon this before, I believe, but the 45 degrees, we all know about that. It's really important that my front foot is totally 100% straight. Because right now I've got 45 degrees, it's fine. My back foot is 45, my right foot is straight. But sometimes when we step, the foot might angle a little bit. The toes might drift out to the outside. And now I've got more than 45 degrees between my feet, which is not good. That's a harsh angle in the knees. But also, if I draw a line straight back from the inside of that foot, I'm actually instepped. I'm banging into that back foot.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's a little bit tricky at first because if my foot is straight forward, I'll make sure I'm not instep there. Now, if I draw that, I can either draw that line from that back heel, as I first mentioned, or I can draw the line from the front foot, the instep of the front foot straight back. So Jackie, you can probably see that if I draw a line from the inside of that front foot, I'm good. It's not running into my back foot. For example, if I was here, and I drew that line, it's going to run into my back foot.
Okay.
But I'm good here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now watch this. If I turn my foot out just a little bit, I was totally fine here. We already established that I'm not instepped. But watch what happens if my foot's not straight. I run that line past right along my instep, bang, right into that back foot.
Okay.
So it's really important that that front foot is straight. Not only for the knees, but it creates the same issue of being instepped. The foot's too much in front of the back foot. So every step we make, we never want to instep, even our balance steps. So here, if I'm just touching down the ball of my front foot, just a balance step, it's still in front of the back foot. It's not so good. I want it to be a little bit over.
Okay.
So that's what you noticed. You actually noticed that in the single whip. I brought that foot over because my body just knows to come over a little bit rather than just touch down in front. So that's what you noticed. That's why my foot seemed more over than yours. So we don't want to be in front of the other foot and not even in front of the line on the heel. We want to be over a bit.
Got it.
Yeah. So now let's go through the entire mini set, stopping and checking every step to look for instepping or outstepping. And if it's instepped, we want to correct it to outstepped. There's a couple places. Yeah.
The outstep is just where you're far enough out and it's straight?
Yes.
Okay.
We rarely use that phrase, outstep. We just typically usually just say, don't instep.
Okay.
What it really means is, so if I'm instepped, it's inside that line from the back heel. Outstepped, it's outside that line from the back heel.
Got it.
Now, there's a couple places in the set, both in the mini set and the entire set, where instepping doesn't apply. So let me tell you a couple of those places now. So when we run into them in the mini set, you'll already know in your mind, okay, we don't have to worry about instepping here. So the first time that occurs is when we go into stork spreads wings, my feet are parallel.
Okay, yep.
So instepping is not an issue. You can't instep. There's no way to instep because your feet are on like they're parallel.
Right.
So they can't intersect. So it's not an issue. The other step where instepping doesn't apply is chop with fist, because it's just a totally different, wacky kind of move and step. So let me do chop with fist towards you, and you'll see that my right foot is directly in front of my back foot, but I'm not going to be stepping in a regular step like that. That would be instepping. That's a no-no. Because we're turning this foot to the corner, it's a completely different step. Instepping is not an issue.
Okay.
It's because it's an unusual step.
And that's the one where your left heel does come off.
Correct.
Okay.
So my back heel comes off, and for a moment, my left foot is 45 degrees to this corner, and my right foot is 45 degrees to that corner. Normally, we would say that's way more than 45 degrees between. That's 180 degrees, actually, and that's supposed to be hard for the knee. Well, the thing is actually, because we're shifting the weight to one leg, we're not really we don't have any weight on the other leg for any length of time.
Okay.
So it's a totally different step. Okay, let's go through the entire mini set, stop and go, checking our feet and our stance. So feet are parallel. And so we'll go through commencement, shift left to turn right. Now, I may have said this to you before, Jackie. The reason why we pick up the left heel and turn on the ball of the foot, because everywhere else we make correction by turning on the heel, right? We just talked about that today with a single whip. You had asked about that. I want to turn on my right heel, not turning on the ball of the foot.
Okay.
Whenever we correct our feet to get our 45 degrees, it's always by turning on the heel.
Okay.
The very first move, commencement, is an exception. It's the only time that I don't correct by turning on the back heel. I correct by turning on the back ball of the foot. And the reason is, and you can try this yourself, check it out. Let's try this. So feet are parallel.
Okay.
Shift left to turn right. Shift forward into the right leg. Now, turn on the heel of the left leg, the heel of the back foot to 45 degrees. It makes you instepped, and it makes the stance too short. But in terms of our instepping that we're talking about tonight, if you turn on the heel, you will be instepped. So we turn on the ball of the foot, and that sends the heel away from the instepping line. So turning on the ball in that first move saves us from being instepped.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go through that and move on from there. So feet parallel, commencement, shift left, turn on the right heel. So you're pointing straight to the sidewall. Pick up the left heel, turn on the ball of the foot, flatten at 45 degrees. Okay, so we're good. Stand and hold the ball. Now it's good if your left foot isn't directly in front of your right foot. But we're really going to take a look at it after we step. So step with the left heel, left foot pointing straight into the corner. Now, draw a line from the inside of your left foot and try to be as accurate as you can. You can even bend over and do it if you want. Draw a line from instep straight back and see if it bangs into your right foot, your back foot. And so if it does, we want to move our foot out to the outside, to the left.
I think I'm good.
Yeah. And when you move it out to the left a little bit, you still got to make sure it's pointing into the corner. Again, that we haven't drifted the toes, otherwise we still could be instepped. Okay, so now let's shift the weight into the left leg, touch down with the ball of the right foot, and we'll even want to make sure our balance step is not instepped. For one thing is, if our balance step is instepped, probably when we take the actual step, it'll probably be instepped as well.
Okay.
So when we touch down, make sure it's not directly in front of your left foot. It's over a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. Now, when you step with your right heel to the side wall, you step forward and over a little bit to avoid instepping. Forward and over a little bit without turning your toes out. Toes are pointing straight forward. Okay, let's just pause for a moment. The reason why I mentioned, let me do that in front of you. So I'm exaggerated. I step forward and over a bit. I step forward and over a bit. The reason why we have to say it that way or think of it that way is because most people tend to instep. The tendency for most people. So you have to think of putting it over more than what you would actually tend to do. Generally speaking, maybe not for you, but for most people, they have to step forward, but over a little bit to avoid their tendency to instep. If they just step forward as they feel they like to, they will probably be instepped.
Okay.
Sometimes we say step forward and over a bit. Now let me just show you one more time the little potential precariousness that can be here. If I step forward and over a bit, my toes actually turned over a bit too, so I'm back to instepped. So when you step forward and over, you just have to make sure the toes keep pointing straight forward and not turn with that foot that went in that direction. Make sense?
Yep, got
Okay.
it.
So let's take it from where we left off, which was that grasper's tail. Now, let's just take a look and make sure now we're not starting from being instepped. So either mentally drawing a line from the back heel straight forward, or straight line from the instep of the forward foot, straight back behind, straight back, and make sure you're just not clanging into the back foot with that line.
On that one, are the right toes pointed to the corner or are they straight?
So the right toes are pointing to the side wall, straight.
Okay,
Because your left foot's to the corner,
right,
that was left grasper's tail. We stepped.
right. Okay, got it. Because otherwise we'd be in a funny position.
Yeah, so now let's go through single whip. So shifting back to the left leg, turn as far as comfortable on the right heel, shifting back to the right leg, hands drop down. So bring your left foot over, balance step a little bit more than maybe what you tend to, so it's not going to be instepped.
Okay,
And then turn on the right heel.
okay, that works better.
Yep, okay, good. Now, we're going to take a regular full step on the left foot. So now we know that it probably feels like we have to step forward and over a little bit. So forward and over to the left a little bit, but not letting the toes drift. We stay straight forward. So we want to stop and check. Make sure we can draw a line from the instep back or from the back heel straight forward and doesn't bang into the other foot. So are we good there?
I'm good?
Okay, so let's continue on to raise hands and step up. So shifting back, turning left heel, left foot to the corner, shifting the weight and touch down lightly on the right heel. I'm going to do it pointing towards you. So even here, we don't want it to be instep, so that right heel should be over a little bit. So you can see space between my feet now, right?
Yeah.
Now, it's real easy to be like this, instep.
Gotcha.
So a little bit over, okay?
Okay.
So even these little touchdown steps where it's not even the full foot, just the heel, we don't want to be instep. Now we turn and hold the ball. So the right toes have turned to the corner, just like the left. Take a full step on the right heel. Here, instepping does not apply because the feet are parallel.
Right.
So touch down with the left foot for stork spreads wings And ideally, we don't want to touch down in front of the right foot. Okay. Now we do our first brush knee. So arms into ready position. So when we step with our left heel, be conscious of stepping forward, but over to the left a little bit with the left heel. Step forward and over. Okay, shift your weight forward to finish that brush knee, and then stop and take a look. And draw a line either from the instep of the front foot straight back, or from the back heel straight forward. Make sure you have some space between your feet inside. Are we good there?
I'm good.
Okay. Now, this might be a tricky one because we're going to step up with the back foot. Because people might bring that behind them. So you just step up half a step and then plant that right heel 45 degrees. You don't bring it up behind the front foot. Just bring straight up and then plant at 45. Pick up your left heel, touch down lightly on the left heel for play the fiddle. And we don't want that directly in front of the right foot, but over a little bit. Okay. Now, 3 brush knees in a row. So arms into ready position. And then you take a step with the left heel forward and probably over a little bit to the left to avoid the stepping. So we stop and check. Okay. And if you were in steps, you just walk your foot out. So if I'm in step, I just go turn, turn.
Heel toe. Okay.
Turn, turn, to get some distance between my feet. Okay. So now moving into the next brush knee. Rock back, open left leg, left arm to the corner, stand up, touch down with the ball of the right foot, but not directly in front. Step with the right heel, step forward, out a little bit to the right, but keep the foot totally straight. And let's stop and look. We want the front foot to be totally straight and that line, so there's space between the feet in the middle. Okay, next brush knee, rock back, open right leg, right arm to the corner, shift the weight, stand at the right leg, touch down, but not in front of the right leg, not in front of the right heel, over a tiny bit. And then we step with the left heel, straight forward and over a little bit to the left, but still straight forward. Let's stop and take a look. Make sure you have some space between your feet. Okay, now play the fiddle, so half step up, drop the right heel 45 degrees, pick up the left foot, place it down lightly on the heel, and just check to make sure that your heel isn't directly in front of your right heel. Okay, and one more brush knee, arms in ready position, full step on the left heel, and then take a look. And correct, get to the outside if you need to. Okay, chop with fists. So chop with fists, we don't have to worry about being in step at all. So rocking back, left foot to the corner, arms swoop to the left, stand up, hold the bouquet. Here, ideally, we don't want the balance step to be instepped. When we place down the right heel, half a step, don't worry about instep. It's going to be directly in front of the left foot. Shift the weight forward and turn the right foot and leg to the corner. So this is such a different step, instepping does not apply. So chop with fist, and then all the weight into the right leg. Touch down lightly on with the balance step. Again, not in step, not directly in front of your right. And then when you step with your left heel, shift the weight forward, parry and punch. Check to make sure your left foot is straight forward, but not directly in front of the right foot. Withdraw and push. So thankfully, we don't have to worry about instepping because there's no stepping there. Now, cross hands, shifting back, left toes come up, hands go up, turn on the left heel, turn on the right heel until it's straight. Now, Jackie, is your right foot ahead of your left?
It is.
And that's good, and that's because you are not instepped.
Oh, okay.
If you were instepped, your right foot would have been back more, and your feet would be right on the same line here. And that's a telltale sign that you were instepped. So that's why it is good if when you get here, your right foot is a little bit ahead of your left. It means you weren't instepped.
Okay.
And then of course we go straight down, arms go wide. We shift the weight over, bring the right wrist under the left. Bring the foot in, shoulder width or hip width. Coming up. Palms rotate forward and then drift down.
It was good in slow motion.
Yeah. So it's something to work on for sure, something to work on. So I want to, just before you finish, if it's okay with you. So instepping is something that you'll need to check probably for a while. And so that's just ongoing work that can be done. Now, let's take out the balance step.
Okay.
Now, there's some moves in the set where there's always a balance step. So I'll show you which ones they are in the mini set. Basically, it's single whip. When I come into single whip, I always have this touchdown step. Okay. But in every other place, we can take the balance steps out. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just do some brush knees, taking out the balance step, so you can get a feel of flying through those brush knees without having to stop yourself. Just remember to avoid instepping. So let me do a few steps towards you to show you what I have to do with my foot to avoid instepping. Again, you'll see I step forward now a little bit. So if you want, I'll do some brush knees towards you, but if you pay attention mainly to my feet, I step forward and out. So now I'm not going to do an instep. I'm going to step right through, but over a little bit. Rock back, I open the leg and the arm, I stand up. You can always use a balance step whenever you need it. So balance steps are always there for you whenever it's needed. But now I don't have to touch down. I can step right through.
Okay.
But I just want to make sure that I step right through and over a little bit. So let's do some brush knees. Okay. So let's start from here, standing the right leg. So of course we have a balance step right now because we're starting from this position. But when we start actually stepping for the brush knees, we can take those balance steps out. Okay. So stepping with the left heel, again, we want to be over a little bit so we're not instepped. Shifting forward. Rock back. Open left leg, left arm to the corner. Shift the weight, stand into left leg, and swing your right leg right through, right onto the right heel. There we go. Now rock back, open your right leg and right arm to the corner, shift the weight to slowly stand into the right leg, and swing your left lower leg right through. Swing the leg right through onto the heel, and hopefully not instepped. Rocking back, opening left leg, left arm, stand into the left leg, and swing the right lower leg right through onto the heel. Try a couple more if you'd like, where you just swing that lower leg right through.
Okay. Over here. Go, just a minute.
It'll take a while to get used to. Okay, so I'll tell you what. So next class,
Yep.
we'll just we'll go review stepping without instepping,
Okay.
and then we'll officially do that in the mini set where we take the balance steps out. Feel free to experiment with that on your own if you'd like.
Okay.
Based
So
on fresh knees.
all the other balance steps are gone except for the single whip one.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. So next class we'll work specifically on the mini set, taking the balance steps out. So now you know about not in stepping. So that always applies, except for the couple of moves where it's not an issue. When your feet are parallel or chop with fist, it's not a concept. But every other step, we don't want to be in steps. And now we can take balance steps out, except for those small number of moves that we always touch down. Balance steps are always there for you. So I could do a brush knee. Let's say I kind of lose my balance. I can always use a balance step and then step. So they're always there for you.
Okay.
But
So
generally,
when we touch and hold the ball, that still stays there.
yeah, that's a good question. So that takes more balance and more strength, right? So if I do that, let's say I go into left grasper's tail into grasper's tail. I
Yeah.
stand and hold the ball. I'll just wait for that screen to come back here. So I stand and hold the ball and step through.
Oh.
Before,
Okay.
I'd stand and hold the ball and touch down. Step. Now, I stand and hold the ball as I step right through. It's so much more flowing and elegant, but it does take more strength or control so that you're spending more time on one leg.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. We'll see you next time.
Brad, on the hip thing on Sunday, is it going to be recorded or is there a sheet afterwards or?
There's written handouts for all the movements.
Okay, perfect.
So the class itself is not going to be recorded,
Okay,
but actually I do have a video of that course already done that I sent separately. But for those people that are taking the course, there will be written handouts of all the moves that we do. To
okay.
descriptions of
That
every
will
single move.
pick up at some point down the road.
Okay,
Okay. All right, good. I think I'm going to sign that up. I just have to double check my schedule.
sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, see you next time. Bye.